Myself is Krishna. In the previous video, till now, we have discussed about Power Query, Power Pivot, and different tables and interaction between the tables and connection between the tables. In the present video, and we have also seen how measures have been created. In the present video, we are finally going to create reports. So, how we are going to report? We are going to replicate the what are the report which is required. Similarly, in this video. So, in this video, we can see the net sales, total cost of goods sold, and gross margin are all on the row side. These the values required in corresponding to the in quarterly, and these are all the filters. Now I'm going to replicate the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm for this the data required is I'm going to insert data. I'm going to insert a pivot table from the data model. We have discussed about the data model and connections between the data model in the previous videos. So the data has been created. So here we can see there is a pivot table field, and we are going to there is a pivot table field. We are going to drag and drop different items into this field for performance over here. So here we can see what are all the required which we require on the row side. Sales, cost of goods. So these are all the functions. So where the when while writing measures where we have saved all these functions. In fact, underscore sales monthly table. So we can see the difference between a column. These are all the tables. These are dim table, dim underscore date table, and these are all the columns. And the difference between column and a measure can be seen here. So the net sales FX is the only thing. So next sales, cost of goods. Sorry. So we are going to delete the table. Then we are going to insert pivot table data margin. So now I'm going to select in row net sales, cost of goods sold, gross margin, and gross margin percentage. So this should be in the row side. So here you can see here the net sales, all the four parameters for all the 4 years. But I want for individual years. So if I need to keep filters. So I need to keep filters, and I need to have reports quarterly in column wise. So here we are going to keep filter, but for present I need to have quarters in quarter wise sales. So where do we have quarters in dim dot date table? We will be having the quarter wise sales. So I'm going for dim dot date table. I am going to drag and drop the quarter here. So here you can see here in the quarter table we have initially I'm going to keep year table. So although here we got all the concern reports which we require year or as well as quarter. When we drag down quarter, the net sales for 2018, 2019, 21, 22 we have seen here. But here the sales are present in a decimal format, but we read these in form of numerical format. How we are going to do it? So we are going here. We are going to keep a value field settings here, and we are going to change the number format. All these are done in Googling itself. We need to constantly Google whichever kind of report we require. So we are going for custom. We are going to write separately. So how? We are going to write custom. In custom, we need to select 0, comma, comma. We can see when now we are changing here, it is immediately it will be changed. Comma, comma, double inverted M, capital M for million. So, so here we can see here all this has been changed. Similarly, for cost of goods sold too, we need to go for number format. The same thing will be repeated. So now we write one something, it will be drop down. So we are going to select here. So we got the same thing, and gross margin, the one thing which you complete, everything will be completed. So gross margin, the same thing. So everything is set. Whatever the field is required, net sales, goods sold, gross margin percentage. So net sales, goods sold, gross margin. But here we need not year wise, we need quarter wise. So we are going to remove this. We are going to keep year wise. So quarter wise. So we got quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to have the quarter wise performance year based. So what we are going to do, we keep year in filter. So when we select all the years, when we select 2018 alone, so 2018 alone, we get the sales of 2018 alone. Similarly, 2019, we get the sales of 2019. Now I need to know the sales performance year wise, quarterly wise, as well as customer wise. What is the report here? Customer base. Yes, year, market, and customer. So as seen in the report, so I'm going to need market. So I'm going to keep market. So market all the years and the market in now this season and in the market. What is the market? All the market or the market is suppose Germany. So the Germany the sales or gross margin is miss. Here you have seen gross margin is minus and all the sales the gross margin is minus. The reason why it is minus we are going to discuss in further slides. So Netherlands here also is minus, which means like gross margin is minus means the total amount of cost of production is more compared to sales. Why this is happening? We are going to discuss it. Now again, the other slide is customer. So when we add customer again, add customer. So when we change any customer, Amazon is a customer, again it's going to change. So these are how we what are the is required. Now what we are going to do, whatever which you have seen in the report, the similar thing has to be. However, the report the customer is expecting, the client is expecting, we need to create the report in a similar way. So we need to have data bars. So we are going to select this. We are going to do conditional formatting, and we are going to get a correct scaling scale. This is what is expected. And what are the other things which the customer expected? The customer expected the graph. So the graph of all these values, I'm going to select all these values and I'm going to create a graph using pivot chart. So I'm going to select a pivot chart and we have got the chart. So far, whatever the whatever the reports which the customer has expected, the similar thing has been reproduced in this video. And the next slide. And here we have seen whenever we change, we have selected a particular year, we are getting gross margin as minus. Let's deep dwell. Why is the reason there is a minus, there is a negative in the gross margin of every country every year. So let's go for the next slide. We'll get the answers for this in the coming slide. So we're going for the next slide. So here we can see the country markets and the same report country wise. So let's take a look. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going here. I'm going inside. I'm going to take a pivot report, pivot table, existing sheet, and on the existing data model. So I got the same data model. Here what I need I need all these parameters market wise. So I'm going to insert market in the row table. So we enter the row table and remaining all in the in the columns. So I'm going to insert net sales, cost of goods sold, gross margin, gross margin percentage. So here we got the real culprit. Who is the real culprit? Cost of goods sold. Why it is the culprit? Because the cost of goods sold remains same for all the countries. It cannot be possible because it varies in different countries. There might be a technical reason or there might be a relationship reason between this cost of goods sold and remaining all other tables. If there is no proper relation between this cost of goods sold and other tables, this is one of the reasons. So that's why I'm saying we need to cross check every time whenever relationship is done, and whenever there is a problem, we need to go back to the relationship and again change the relationship wherever necessary. So I'm going back to the pivot table. I'm going back to Power Pivot. So I'm going Power Pivot. I'm going to manage the data model. I'm going to check if the relationship between the cost of goods sold and other correct or not. I'm going there. I'm going for data diagram view. So here you can see where is the cost of goods sold. Here is the cost of goods sold. It how is the function? It works with the help of total cost of goods sold. And what are the relationship between this chart and the market chart and this chart and the customer chart? Here we can see we have only one relationship. There is only date relationship with this table, and there is no other relationships. So if I want any relationship, if I want to get any information, I need to have relationship with other table too. So the similar thing between this chart, this table, and the other table here is the customer code. When we connect this customer code to the customer table, so if this works out, let's see this thing will work out or not. I'm saving it, and yes, this thing works out. So here you can see the everything goes well, and this creates confusion again whether this one is similar to this one or not. Like it's 185 million, the net sales is 185 million or not, or all the years, or it is changing. So let's do whether it is correct or not. Again, I'm going here. I'm going for net sales, value sales setting, number format. Once we have once we have written a profile, it will remain saved. So 883 million. Yes, it's 883 million. It's correct. So again, I'm going for cost of goods sold, and I think everything goes well. Once one thing is cut, remaining all will remain the same, and nothing is tampered easily. And after all, it's a data, and we are using the same data for other pivot table, so nothing gets changed. Imagine when we don't have any Excel kind of thing, we need to make reports manually. How difficult it would be. So has become very easy. So 883 million, 883 million, triple five and 328, 3,520. So good. Everything goes good, everything goes well. Right now, what is the other thing which the customer has expected? So here you can see a different phenomenon. When we change anything, everything gets changed. So this thing is called slicer. I want an easy user interface. When we change I want to know the performance of different countries over the years with easy user performance. How I'm going to do it? I'll insert a slicer. So slicer, I'm going to select with how these things will be changed. I'm going to use year slicer. So with over the years, the performance of this countries in terms of sales. Now again, I need to use the conditional formatting because I'm not getting clear-cut idea which country is performing better. So I'm going to select all this, and I'm going to insert a conditional formatting using database. So using database, we can get a clear picture like which country has gone the maximum gainer. India is going the maximum gainer, and after that USA is doing performing well over there. After that, United Kingdom is performing well. South Korea is performing well. Like margin which is around at least greater than 10 million is a good performance. So again, 2018 the performance is good. The 2019 and 2020, so this is how these things has been done, and this is how the data bars has been created. And again, I need to create a chart. So I'm going to insert a chart now, and again pivot chart. So whatever the report which I have created, the similar thing has been replicated. Nothing different, nothing different. There may be small changes. It may be from left to right or right to left, but all these are like it's only the final touch up or the final finish up. The only thing which we need to learn mostly is in Excel is like learn how to how to make a good data, how to convert the raw data into better analysis data, the clear and completed data, how to write a perfect measure, whether the results which you are getting are correct or not. We need to correlate and cross verify every time whether the obtained results are correct or not, and then we can finally conclude our relations and conclude the data analysis. So when we change anything, everything gets changed here, and with this report, and this one also gets changed, and this everything the report works based on the data fields present in this area, and this is how I've done all the reports. And now instead of again remaking all the reports, I'll show you the use of this report. So this is the report, and whenever I change any year, and for every year this gets changed. So the report gets changed 19 million or something, and again the performance country wise. When we cross check, when we keep across, it's the total sales of all the years. When we select individual year, the total sales over year, and when we click here, nothing gets changed in Excel. Whereas in Power BI, when we click here, everything gets changed. How things get changed, we are going to discuss in Power BI video. And now the country is in gross margin. So the gross margin per the same power table, the same data, the same measures, everything is same. But we are using in different context. We are using in different reports. So using the data, effective utilization of available data, is done can be done when the data has been and the data has been segregated correctly. So again, top five and bottom five products. How we are going to know top five and bottom five products after creation of pivot table, and so I'm going to see after the table I'm going to go for value filters, and here I'm going to select top 10. So top 5. Suppose I want the top 10, I'm going to replace it top 10. So the top 10 based on net sales, or we can also change top 10 based on target. We can change it different item, but generally we will mark the performance of any product based on its sales itself. So the top 10 based on sales we have seen initially 5, the 10. Similarly, the same thing affects with the bottom 2. So top 10 based on sales are the bottom 10. So top 10 is 26 million, 24 million, and the bottom 10 is like 1 million, 2 million, and less than 1 million. So here you can see here 1 million, 2 million, the bottom 10 products in terms of sales. So similarly, we have seen the top products, bottom products, the top countries in terms of sales, the top 5 products in terms of sales, the top 5 countries, and here the country. So sales over all the years in individual year, and how these countries are performing well. As you can see the country-wise customer performance and the target, the 2021 versus 20. It's like the total sales in 2020 is 94 million, 21 93 million, and we kept a target of 170 million in 21, which is practically the double the target of 2020, which they didn't reach. So similarly, the market performance, and like it's the it can be seen here the market performance minus 77 million. As I said, the target is very high. It is double the standard. As a result, it's in negative term. So this is how performance, and we can see the new product launch. Whenever we want a new product launch, it's simple thing. How we are going to take a new product launch when the product sale is zero in the previous year, it is a new product launch. So I have done the similar thing. Value filter when the value is equal to zero in 2019. So these are all the products which are zero sales, which means that it is not launched in that year. It is launched in the next year. So this is how these reports has been used. End of the day, whatever the report we use, and however the analysis is done, the most important critical part in data analysis is getting a clear data, corrected data, and correlation of data, writing proper measures every time, cross-checking whether our measure or our report is performing as per the requirement of the customer or client. So in the subsequent video and the next videos, I'm going to use the same data which I've used in making reports in Excel using Power Query and Power Pivot. I'm going to use the same data and make a project in Power BI, and I'm going to show the difference between Power BI as well as Excel, and why do we need to migrate to Power BI, what are the advantages of Power BI, and remaining other parts, and which will be discussed in the Power BI video. Thank you very much.